Kenny Green, Raw Perspective, Concrete and Steel, keeping it good and raw. Today we're going to talk about Michael Novick, right? AKA Brother Polight, a so-called spiritual leader, guider, informing of blacks and the essence of it and all of these things. Sentenced to 7 years in prison, 10 years probation. Aggravated sexual assault. And there's another charge. These are sexual charges, right? Now, this is not what they started with. This is the plea he copped out to, right? Now, where I'm from and how we figure things, those are charges we never take a plea to because there's such a stain on your life's jacket that you don't want anything having to do with abusing, sexually dealing with a minor. You don't want anything like that in your jacket. And usually if you're in prison, they will give you pain for that kind of charge. You know what I'm saying? So he just pleaded guilty. He was sentenced to 7 years state prison, 10 years probation. He has to take a mentally disorder class program. You know what I'm saying? He had to pay $5,000 restitution immediately. The total amount of his restitution is $25,000. This restitution is going to probably be going to the mother, the daughter, you know, different things. Now, not too long ago on the internet, he was saying all charges was dropped, right? I guess he was hopeful, you know what I'm saying? But more lies. And, you know, sometimes, man, we look at these people because they be talking some good stuff. They be really saying some things that a lot of us want to hear, a lot of us need to hear. But it's so sad when it comes down to this. You know what I'm saying? Because he's saying that this is not true. And if it's not true, and they saying they had semen stains, they had this, he said the kids, the young lady is trying to pay him back for breaking up. Now, we all been in situations with women, and some of that could be possible. But why did you take a plea that will send you to prison for 7 years and give you probation for 10? And you cannot wear certain uniforms. You cannot be around. You a sex offender now, bro. You know what I'm saying? And in my world, it would have been better to take the chance to fight it all the way. And even if I blew trial, I can probably appeal and fight my way back, as opposed to being the man of his stature that he claimed to be, and he take a plea like that. That's just my opinion on it. You know what I'm saying? Usually sometimes could be, I'm gonna give it to you like this, give it middle of the road. That's way out of bounds. I would have never took a plea. And I know sometimes we can't say what we would do or wouldn't do until we in that circumstance. But I believe there need to be a few things that you're going to go to the grave with and you won't negotiate. That's one of them. You know what I'm saying? I liked Brother Polight early on. I was watching him. Then I started noticing and people talking about he's scamming. He's scamming, right? And you talk all of this talk about Europeans and, you know, black power and all of this, how powerful you are, we are. I saw you in your interview wearing a Christian Dior shirt and a Christian Dior headscarf. So, man, it's a contradiction, bro. And I'm coming down a little spicy on you because this misleads people and it creates disappointment. And when somebody else comes speaking like you speaking, it's hard to get behind them because people like you, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing? How do you go from spiritual leader, guider to scammer? But I understand. See, a lot of people like to talk about Malcolm X. See, Malcolm X understood street. He was in the street before he became what he became. And a lot of guys, or say a lot of people, when they experience no money and then they get money, there's a whole different scenario and dynamic they're probably going to deal with. So he first got a taste of money, women crowding him, everybody want to be around him. He had some fame, some notoriety, right? And what'd he do? What'd he do? You start diverting from your original play, bro. Whatever you started out, you changed it up. And it's very disappointing, man. It's very disappointing because you're trying to have a bunch of wives, maneuver a bunch of situations. Look where you wind up. Look where you wind up, man. And to a lot of people, man, it's a dirty game. It's a dirty, dirty game. And you'll find yourself in these political places. And you got to know when you in certain states, you got to understand what's going on. Florida's already in the news. Florida's already in the news. And I know your thing happened, you know, a couple of years ago, however, you've been stretching it out. But now the time has come for you to pay the piper, bro. For you to pay the piper. I don't like it for you. Make no mistake about it. But I understand, man, in the games we play and in the lives we live and the choices we make, we got to deal with what we picked, man. Concrete and steel.